Yeah, cut it down there.
Welcome, blessed people. My name is Natalie. Stick around to the end of this video to know my family and subscribe so that whenever I post a video, you will be sure to know more about us. My husband is helping me to harvest a sugar cane that I had planted in a pot, which a lot of people says that when you plant it in a pot, you don't get a good result. Well, I'm proving otherwise because yeah, we got a nice good sugar cane from my pot. I'm heading to my mom's house where we can all enjoy it. So I chose to just harvest it because we're going there. And I am so grateful for my husband. He really didn't want to do this because, you know, he has a long drive ahead of him, but he still took the time and is doing this for me, which was the spare of a moment, which wasn't even planned. I'm blessed to have him. Thank you, honey. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't plant the pop.
At this stage, I was wondering if it's best for me to use it as a mulch, to put it in my compost, or put it in the dirt that I just have for my raised bed. But we decided to put it in my mulch, in my compost.
Or you can move past me this. Alright, let me do this quick. Waste of time.
The final decision was to put it in the compost, and can I tell you, this wasn't the wisest thing because this is a voiceover, and at this point, I didn't know, but I have gone to look in my compost, and it is not broken. It has not broken down. Right here is where you see this part pushing out is where I'm going to plant it, and this can become the next piece of cane for us to share amongst me and my mommy. Or seriously speaking, this is going to be the next, we're going to get the next plant from this, as you see here. I'm going to plant this.
Abby,
Yeah.
how does
I'm at my
how
mom's
does it
house.
taste? Bite it.
It tastes good.
It's sweet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you love cane. All right.
Sweet and sugary.
That's what makes sugar. At least. How did the cane taste?
I haven't tried it yet.
Well, I think you should try it now on camera. Hey. Hey, Matthew. Hey, Matthew. How does it
Since
taste?
it's pieces, the sweetness hits me more quickly, but this one still tastes nice.
Still
like it.
tastes nice. Oh, so you like? Oh, okay. You like it when it is, it is sliced bigger.
I like the bigger pieces better.
Okay. Well, that have nothing to do with the taste. How does it
No,
taste?
no, I mean like the sweetness is more. Since it's
Oh, you like more. All right, no problem. The more the merrier. All right, good. Yeah. But nevertheless, it's sugar cane. You guys like sugar cane, right?
Yeah, we do.
All right. Well, that's what we used to snack on back home many times.
It can help our stomach.
Hmm?
It's good for the stomach.
No, that's actually what we use it for back home, you know. A lot of time. We call it breast gas. All right, thank you. Honey, how did the cane taste?
Let me get one.
Let you get one of what you had already. You had already know how did the cane taste when you were eating it?
I have to refresh my memory.
No, don't play with me. Well, too bad you won't be getting any more. It's all right. I got report from the 3 kids. Mommy, how the cane taste?
The cane tastes
All right.
sweet. So I need another piece to balance the
You see how
sweetness.
small it was? It's okay.
Little bit metallic, right?
Yeah, remind you of back home, right?
It is a little bit metallic.
And of course, how can I not share with you one of my mom's delicious meal that I look forward to when I go to her house? I think she's one of the best cook. Honestly, not because she's my mom. I really think she needs to open a restaurant or something. This is talent being wasted right here. Yeah.
One second. I'm waiting for Mom to.
When I got back, we were sick for about a week and few days in, but there was some stuff that I had to do immediately when I got back, like feed my fish and some little stuff around the place. But immediately after that, my body went into collapse mode because we were all sick, the entire house. My husband pushed it out and went to work a bit because he wore his mask and stuff. But as for me, I still had to do what I could do because, I was at home with the kids, homeschooling and stuff, and we had to absence ourselves for a few days because it was just rough. I don't know what we all came down with, but I know it was nothing like I had felt in a long while, something close to what I felt like 5 years ago. But yeah, my plants were crying out for water. I had to attend to them and to just see to my fish and some other stuff that, my fermented stuff and stuff that needs my attention. I had to just deal with them when I got home. Take a moment and relax with me, just unwind. And this is what I usually do when I'm done watering my plants. Sit down, unwind, watch my fishes as they have fun together, chasing each other. At least I hope they're having fun together and not just warring with each other. Yeah, as I said to you, this is just my little therapeutic moment, and I thought that I would share it with you and let you see what I watch when I unwind in that same little corner that I have my plants. That's my favorite one, the blue one. Do you see the blue one? Yeah. I guess because it's my favorite color. Yeah. It's sad to say I have a favorite though, but I do. That's my favorite. I like them all, but that topped the list for me. I've never been without an aquarium all my life, a fish tank. From ever since I know myself, like as far back as I was like probably 10 years old, I had one. And I would go and buy my own fish at the pet store when I leave school. First, we used to have these little men that sell them on the roadside where I'm from. And the moment you got home with them, they'll last like a day or two and they would die. They have them like in the buckets and selling them on the roadside. And they would die on you. But it never stopped me from buying or when they would be at my school gate selling them. And so this is just something that is so therapeutic for me. I've always like whenever I'm down and out, just sit back and stare at my fish. And I had a little pond at one time in my life. So yeah, it's just something that it's just one of those things that that gets me relaxed, washing my fish. It took a long while too for me to learn the hard lesson that you have to do companion fish. You can't just throw anything in your aquarium. Why am I giving you the school about this tank? But yeah, I just want to share it with you, and while you're watching it, just hope it's soothing your mind too and relaxing you like it does for me. Yeah. What do you do to relax? What is it you do to get away from the hustle and the bustle of the everyday life of just getting away from the things that can easily are more like beset you, the things that the occurrence, the noise. The drum? What do you do to get away from it? And it's best to find something that would more likely not at the end of the day be harmful to you, because to make you stagger or stumble, it's best if you try something. I know some people like to sweat, they like to go to the gym, some people like to play sport, some people like me just like to sit back and like walk in my garden, water my plants, look at my fishes. And at one point I would like, believe it or not, I had two birds that we would dance together. And I mean like dance, we would move back and forth. I would move back and forth and they would be in their bird cage dancing with me. And I had to get rid of them because my mom would come over and she was allergic, so it was a sad thing to do, but I had to. But yeah, what do you do? What is your moment of just escaping reality? But I've learned one thing though, nothing beats the peace of Jesus. No matter what you do to escape anything, at the end of the day, if you don't have the peace of Jesus, it's like it doesn't work. And no matter what you're going through, and if you can't get that getaway moment for anything like physical or to go into a little area, you can go in a mental area where you can block everything out on a little gospel song. I like the old time gospel songs, like those from the hymnal. Yeah, try it out if you have never done it before. I use like a Pentecostal hymnal. Yeah, but you just try and sing one of those old Pentecostal songs and ride the waves out. Believe it or not, it works, you know. And for those of my husband had to water the plants when we got back because this was very hurtful when I got back. My sourdough had spoiled, and it's luckily for me, I had this other one that was in my freezer, in my refrigerator. But that happens when you neglect your sourdough. And I'm going to make a bread, so I took it out to restart the other one. But nevertheless, it was sad for me to lose that one because that was like my first baby. However, I am gonna also have to fill up my jars with not the flour because as you see, I have enough of that flour, but the rice, I'm gonna have to put that in, and it's just some stuff that I had to just deal with when I get back. And to make it worse, I was sick when I got back. It's like when you leave your house as a wife and get back home, it's nice to put things in place so that when you get back, it's not chaotic. And I've also learned a bit of stuff like, okay, I've never actually got back and be sick from a vacation or out for leaving my house before. So now I definitely am going to think about that, the possibility of that, because you leave your house and you go among other people and stuff like that. So that's another thing, because I was faced with making certain medications and stuff. So that's what I'm definitely going to think about. As for my sourdough and stuff, I had put certain things in place where that is concerned. So like my backup, and my house was clean. I got back to a clean house, so that wasn't too bad, and clean laundry and stuff. But where it come on to my medication and stuff, I had like medications, like store-bought medication, but I'm gonna start putting some in my refrigerator, like to make sure, like homemade remedy, because when you are not feeling well, it's hard to get up and go like, oh, I'm gonna pick some herbs and make some medicine, you know. So I'm gonna think more about that. I'm getting my starter ready so that I can do a sourdough bread, because I lost my sourdough bread too because it was in the refrigerator, and I didn't put it in the freezer, and the result of that, it got spoiled. And that's okay if I can do another batch, but next time, if I'm gonna feel like, okay, I don't want to put myself in this position to have to make a bread when I get back, I'm definitely gonna freeze it, because I thought it would have lasted, but it didn't. So that's another thing, changes that I'm gonna make when I go out for vacation again. I don't want life being a homemaker to like take care of my home and doing things from scratch. Force me to put me in a position where I can't leave my home and enjoy myself. Even though it was a bit longer than I had planned, I really didn't plan to stay so long, but it was a spur of a moment choice. But I just want to make things in put things in perspective so that when I get back, certain things is that I had to face, especially being sick and my entire family being sick, was a little bit different, because it's just like that when you do things at home from scratch. And I have the convenience of a supermarket, don't get me wrong, but I like doing my own thing, and I don't want to be forced to probably have to take something in that I don't feel comfortable with. How are you feeling today? I hope you're not feeling as badly as I was when I was filming this video. I'm out of the waters now. While doing my voice over, I'm better. This was a while back, but yeah, I just hope you're doing well in every means of the word. Well, mentally, physically, emotionally. I hope you're up and not down. But if you're down, I hope you find the strength by any means to just get up and brush yourself off. I always say brace yourself slowly and rise again, because none of us knows what can put us to a point that something in life can throw us down, whether it be financially, physically, and to me, what's worst of everything is when you're physically ill to the point like doctors can't help, nothing can't help. And of course I'm going to throw in and recommend Dr. Jesus. But yeah, whenever, you know what, I found out something about myself leaving my house that I didn't know, because I haven't left my domain, my space, for such a long while, and find myself, well, we usually go, my family do like camping, like we go to those cabins and stuff. So outside of going to like cabins, or when we would take a Disney trip and like stay away from house, because that's something we used to do frequently. But I've never found myself in a position where I had to leave my house in a long while and have to be staying at somebody else's house for such a long period of time. And when I found myself in the position, is like, at first it felt nice to have someone to serve you, and you don't have to be worried about getting up and making breakfast for your kids and so forth. It was like a hotel feel. But you know, the difference is when you sit back and you start observing life itself, you start counting your blessings. And I pray if someone is in the position that they're not in that position where they are able to be in their own space, their own house, well, I pray God mercy upon you. But for those who are at this stage in life, I just feel like I don't know, whatever happens outside, things happen outside of our will sometimes, and we never know. We just have to give thanks for every mercy. So if you find yourself in a position where you can't have your own space, but yet still God provide one through somebody else that is willing to make you be there, well, we have to give God thanks for that, you know. We have to be content until He turns things around and make ourselves comfortable. But I found this out. I don't know, I like being in my own space for some reason. It's mentally, it's like everything was going good. I've been taken care of and everything. I don't have to be attending to all my kids' need because I had mom around to do it. But I felt like a tense feeling, like, and this is my mom who I grew up with, you know, but I just don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm married for over 20 years now, and it's like most of that time I'm in my own space. So for that period of time whereby I am able to do my own thing, and I don't know. I really don't know. But it was a tense feeling inside, not one of being unwelcome, but one of like, you know, that comfort space that I'm in. Like, I can move this, I can do that, you know, and it made me give God thanks for what He did for me to put me in that space where I'm able to, you know, have a husband to take care of, a roof over my head and so forth.
It was a feeling of me just counting a moment of me counting my blessing. You know, sometimes we don't know what we have until we lose it. So as I was saying, I was away from for 20 years, because for 20 years I got married, and for a period at a time, my family, when I migrated here, my family and I were in the same state and they left, and so it was just me and my husband. So we were always together, and I just could toss things anywhere I wanted and do anything that I wanted. I could, you know. So yeah, I'm bubbling right now, right? But I'm just saying, I'm just grateful for God for what He has done for me to put me in this space where I feel like, you know, because I don't think I'm the type of person who would like to be outside of my own space. I'm usually homebodied most of the time, unless we're doing some camping. I'll give up anything for those cabins to go up in those mountains, those Virginia mountain that we would usually go. Yeah, and another surprise, I came back to these little surprises. My Susumber were pushing beans. That was good too. There they are, which is one of my favorite things to eat. So that was a good surprise. And my soursop, which I thought wouldn't make it, came back. It came back. Yeah, so, you know, I enjoyed myself, but it's just a blessing to be home again, you know? And I was pampered, but it's just not me.
Fire! Fire!
I'm not gonna lie to you, not all the time when I'm handling my meat or my chicken, I wear a gloves, but I definitely don't wear it when I'm doing chicken foot. It's very slippery, and it makes it hard for me to be nipping the toes off and getting everything I'm to get off, and to also use a scissors, which is sometimes feeling like I want to nip the gloves. Yeah, I don't want to be eating no plastic.
It's natural bedding.
Mommy, excuse me. Mommy. Mommy.
I get to understand that some cultures leave the nail on, but mine is not one of them. I don't know. I can't do that.